Hi, my name is JC Green, and today I'm going to be going over the plan presentation and going more in depth and helping you understand. So, the teacher I interviewed was Miss Horn. She was having a constant problem of her students not participating or focusing on their assignments. There were many students who kept saying that they did not feel like doing their work or they had no motivation, so this became a huge problem in her classroom. She told me that she often tries to make learning fun for them when she can, but it's the same way every day, and she was really tired of this problem. The students were getting distracted, and they would enjoy playing educational games, but that's the only thing they wanted to do. But it did help them learn at times. They also tend to talk to each other a lot, and that causes the problem of it getting noisy in the classroom, which can be a problem. And she said the resources that I have given will hopefully allow her for more engagement in the students and just to help our students focus better in the classroom. So she is currently teaching fourth grade science, and the students are between the ages of 9 and 10 years old. She absolutely loves teaching. And so this lesson falls under the Common Core Standard, which basically states that you have to make observations and or measurements to provide evidence of the effects of weathering or the rate of erosion by water, ice, wind, or vegetation. And then it has a couple of ISTE standards as well. And these include the standard that states the students collect data or identify relevant data sets. They use digital tools to analyze them and represent data in various ways to facilitate problem solving and decision making. And then there's one more ISTE standard, and this states that students use collaborative technologies to work with others, including peers, experts, or community members, to examine issues and problems from multiple viewpoints. So my first technology resource is the YouTube video. I just think this is going to be a great thing for them to start out with. This is what it's going to look like. It talks about erosion and weathering, and it gives you a really good definition of what it is, and it gives you a good introduction to the lesson. The second technology resource that I will be using is the Smartboard lesson. This will help the students really engage with the other classmates. This is a Smartboard lesson that I have found that would be great to use. It has interactions, and there's different questions you can answer on it and different ways that you can type in your answers. The third resource that I would be using is Padlet, and this is just a good discussion resource. This is just an example. It's not specifically about the weathering and erosion, but this is just kind of what a Padlet looks like, and you can make it your own. So the first activity will allow the teacher to show the YouTube video to the class. This just gives them an introduction of where the lesson is headed and just to know what they need to know to continue and some of the most important things about the weathering and erosion. The second thing that will be included in the activity is when they watch the video, the students will then work in groups and be called up one by one according to their group to work through the Smartboard lesson. And you also just work with that as a class. And then lastly, the students will get into the created Padlet and discuss different things about weather and erosion. This will technically be happening on their own. And then this will allow them to see other students' thoughts and help them learn more, maybe get some more questions, build some more thoughts in their mind. And then the teacher will pull up the Padlet after everyone's finished discussing and writing what they want, and on the Smartboard so the whole class can talk and ask questions, and maybe she can help them understand the things that they had questions about or anything that they have importance about. And then we have the students' learning. There is many different ways to assess the students' learning, but specifically one that I really like is just a simple Kahoot game. The students will participate in the Kahoot game after the lesson, and basically this just helps creating fun for the students. It helps my job a little bit easier, and then it allows them to try harder if they know they're going to win and get a prize for being on the leaderboard. it just motivates them more, and you just see a better outcome in the end about it, which is super awesome, especially for younger kids and kids around the fourth grade age. They just really get out there, and it can show them what they really know. And then you have, this is what the Kahoot looks like. It's kind of, this one can be used, or you can use a different one. It really doesn't matter. This is just one that I found that looks like it had great information about weathering. Some of the questions I did realize, though, may be a little bit too advanced for the fourth graders. So depending on how in depth we go with the lesson, this may not be the great resource to use, but it can be a better resource than most. And then lastly, just the components of everything is the teacher would create a Kahoot or the Kahoot or whatever before, and they can even use this one, like I said, but it could be a little bit advanced for the students. And the teacher, if they create their own, they can put questions on that the students need more help on. So after you get done discussing on the Padlet, you can add more questions in about what's important to them and what they need more help on, or what they really know, just some easy questions along the way. And this is just an example that I used. And at the game, whoever's on the leaderboard can get a prize, like I said. And at the end of each game, it will tell you how many questions each student got right or wrong. And then the students could either grade you while you were going along, and the students could grade while you were going along. And that's the best way to get the final grade. It is just better that way, and you can really see all your grades and the ones that your students did. And it will make them feel better if they are more on the top of the leaderboard and see that they did really good on it. And maybe the ones who got lower, and they know that they need to work more with this subject before there is like an end of the year test.